Can one of you please confirm you are able to view my desktop?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, all. This is Krishna Gadipe from the RISE core team. Welcome to the testing training session again. We are going to get started with the today's session. Prior to that, just wanted to give a quick intro about the Women Who Code chapter, and then we'll get started. So basically, like the RISE program is being hosted by the Women Who Code Hyderabad chapter. So Women Who Code is a worldwide organization that is spread across 122 countries with a member base of more than 250,000. And the mission of Women Who Code is to support the women to excel in the respective career technology. And the vision is a world where diverse women are better represented as engineers and tech leaders. And for any voluntary organization, as there is a code of conduct. So for Women Who Code, definitely we have a code of conduct. And Women Who Code is all about equality. So we don't want to really discriminate anyone based on anything like region, age, religion, socioeconomic status, creed, political affiliation, etc. And the extensive list of full version of the code of conduct can be found at this particular location. So we request all the members to please adhere to the code of conduct and live with that. And as I said in the very beginning, the 3 training tracks, testing, Java, and Hadoop, they are being hosted from the Women Who Code Hyderabad chapter. And we request everyone to enroll into this particular chapter, and post enrollment you can just go ahead and participate in all the events or activities that are being hosted by the Women Who Code organization. With that, I would like to hand over the control to Sneha, who is the trainer for today. First of all, I would like to thank the trainer Sneha today for coming forward and supporting us on hosting this session. So to quickly introduce the trainer Sneha. Sneha is like a versatile trainer. She got 10 years of experience on testing strategies, and she is a certified Tosca tester, basically, which is an automation tool. And apart from that, Sneha is also like very much diligent with respect to her work. She's always willing to help others wherever it is needed, and she is very much focused with respect to the attention to the detail. With that, I would like to hand over the control to Sneha for today to host the session. Sneha, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Hari. And now we will be learning what exactly is testing and how we come up with some forms in which we will be helpful. It will be helpful for us to find defects beforehand in the cycle. So there is a software cycle that is uh, available where we test the software when it is in a right form or in a build which is quite stable. Okay, so whenever we have a build which is quite stable, we try to make some scenarios for automation. Automation is nothing but where we in our day-to-day life activities also, you would have seen that some of things which we can automate easily, and it saves us a lot of time. And going forward, like with the day-to-day course, daily course that we have, it helps us in moving with our life or with the skills that we have, right? The same thing happens with the automation which is available in software technology. So both you can have a testing field of manual as well as automated test cases. So two different kinds you can have for testing. Now, what exactly is some automation which helps us in saving our time? is some repetitive thing, or something which is reused again and again, or you can say which is more determinant or unopinionated, okay, where you are going to hang have a lot of time to develop yourself in a zone where you are able to do your work also, and you are able to multitask for other coding things, or if you want to develop your testing skills into different domains, like you have GUI domain, your UI domain is there, then you have mobile testing which is there, or you have mainframes testing, or your database testing, or your cloud testing. So various formats are there of testing which is available in the market today. But what is important now is how we finish our work in less time, and this will be done only when you try to automate your cycles and your testing cycles. Okay, so you would have seen some of the tools are already available in market for testing in with automation, like UFT is there, which is provided by HP Mercury. Selenium is from ThoughtWorks. Tosca you have from Tricentis. Macro is the VB script that is written with help of Microsoft. Okay, so these are some simple tools which can automate your testing efforts, and it can enable you to do your work in less time. Okay, or you can say that whatever is repetitive in your task, testing what happens is that at times you feel that you are repeating yourself in the work culture that you are following, so that can be minimized with the tools which are available today for automation. Now we will be going forward with a tool which is named as Tosca Test Suite. Okay, this is provided by Tricentis, and this is comparatively now in worldwide used tool, wherein when you follow an agile format, okay, when agile format is followed and you want to have some kind of tool which will help you with small sprints testing that is required, or where you want codeless automation to be there, or where you want to have automation in a faster rate, or you can say you want the graph to be shifted towards left with in short term, if you say, is more work is done in less time. Okay, so then only you shift the graph towards left in the STLC cycle which is followed. Now here if you see, Tosca Test Suite is a tool. It is also a tool like UFT, Selenium. Then you have different Worksoft is there, which is again a codeless tool. You have SmartBear's test architect. So different kinds of tools are there, and this tool is specifically mentioned because it is not only helping us in the functional test cases for UI part, it also helps in mainframes, it also helps in database testing, in cloud-based testing. You can also have hands-on with mobile testing with this tool, and with this tool you have a test management tool also which is available, which is QTest, which you can integrate easily with Jira. This the entire process of your end-to-end testing can be followed by Tricentis. Okay, so if you want to go for performance testing, which is available with Tosca also, so you can have a performance tool also from Tosca, which is called as Neoload, which is available today in market. The test suite supports an entire life cycle of the test project. Okay, here you name one thing: UI testing, or your API testing, or your command line interface, or your GUI integrated test management tools, and everything will be provided by this tool, and it summarizes your test results. Also, it is very helpful to showcase your work to your stakeholders. Okay, so they have some trend charts which are available, or how the entire execution was the entire flow, end-to-end flow, which was tested. So from minutest details of testing to a advanced level of testing you can do with Tricentis Tosca. Okay, and this tool, which is uh, built on C# as the base language. So they have used C# as the base language for building up this tool. So why C# is that C# is very good with the Windows based applications as well as with the Mac based applications when you are testing. Okay, when you are creating a small utility which you want, it is very helpful when you use C#. Java is also used, Java based tools, like you can see Selenium. Selenium is nothing but it uses a web API. Okay, web API which is built with Java. You have a functionality of C#, Java, and Python also you can use with Selenium, but with Tosca you have a provision of using C# for coding. Also, there are certain APIs which have been provided from Tricentis Tosca, which you can easily make use of, and you can troubleshoot some errors, or you can create some reports using those APIs. Similarly, you can also trigger this particular tool in unattended mode or attended mode automation which is followed. Okay, so just imagine that the work which you are following or executing entirely is automated part, and you are able to complete a lot of scripts or your test cases on time. That is also important without just hampering any of the details in the scripts that you have written. Now here you can see the architecture which is for Tosca tool. So we have a centralized repository. Okay, there is a repository which is connected to a commander. Commander is nothing but a place where we will be writing all our test cases, and our modules will be scanned, or the objects will be scanned. Then you have a wizard which is there available for running those particular commander scripts which is followed. And there are some engines of the executor, like you have Excel engines are there, or your Outlook engine is there, Java engine, HTML engines. HTML engines are for different of opening URL, you can say, or the file engines which are there, which are common for executing. And there is a system under test. Okay, system under test is your application that you are testing for. So if you go on a basic thing for all these automation tools which is required is they require an IDE. Okay, IDE is a platform where you write your test scripts or your test cases. So in UFT you have to use HP UFT tool for writing this particular scripts. For Selenium you use Eclipse. For Tosca you have Commander, Tosca Commander. For macro you have the VB macro which is written. Okay, so you have an ID is provided for it. Then the most important thing in the automation part is where are you saving your scripts. Okay, so where are you saving your scripts? If you are saving only in the commander or only in the IDE, then that is only visible to you, which is the local repository which is provided. But if you have some shared repositories, so if you are working in a team, you are working in a large organization, you will be having a repository which is there. So irrespective of whatever automation tool you use, these are some of the standard formats which are provided. Then if you move to the part, if I open some site, okay, let us open some site. So when we are doing it from the UI based, so it is a UI based testing. If you are operating from mobile, it will be a mobile based testing which is done. If you are operating in cloud, it is a cloud based testing which will be done. If you are operating through the devices matter. So if you are using mainframes, or if you are using database, so those all are the different kinds of testing which you can automate. Let us see. So suppose this is your particular application that you are using. Okay, so from this you can see simple small objects are there. Okay, so when you are automating, the essence of automation itself is you have to identify each object on that particular GUI, or on the platform which you have to test, okay, which the system which is under test. So for that you will require the objects to be identified uniquely, that I should be able to say, or the automation script should be able to understand that when they are saying for today's deals, then it is this link that they are speaking about. Okay, so there is modules, and there are some actions that are need to be performed. So what all user interface which is there, so what kind of actions I will be performing on this particular links, whether I'm just verifying this particular link is present or not, or if I'm clicking on that link I'm landing on that page, or what kind of scenarios or actions are performed. And the next part is asserting that value. Okay, so you are asserting that after clicking on computers I'm landing on computers page. Okay, I'm landing on computers and accessories, and I'm going to get the list of all the computer based accessories on that page. So it is very important to follow this kind of approach, where you will be able to develop all your automation scripts and run and get a output out of it. Okay, so what is important is scanning the page with various objects, then the actions that are needed to be performed on those objects, and last part is you are asserting or you are verifying that particular thing has happened or not, or that particular case is properly working or not. So if it is not working, you try to capture some screenshot. So this is the actual essence of automating, or of creating the test scripts and test scenarios. Okay, so anything, if you are able to do manually, you should be able to convert that manual scripts into automation part, unless and until some part which is not helped, like the capture screen or the graphs which are there are not helped for the automation testing. Those part you can keep it as some manual script which will be available, but rest of them you can automate. You can automate your database also. Now, this is the entire architecture of the Tosca Tricentis tool, which is provided. Okay, so there are separate engines which are there, and you get shared repository or your local repository that you work on, and engines which are common throughout. Okay, so if you, it is not only enterprise wise, but it is according to the worldwide that these engines are used. So someone will be using SAP testing which will be performed, or Salesforce testing which will be performed. Then someone will be using for HTML and TCP or IP. So several engines, Excel engines are there, Outlook engines are there. So these all engines are common throughout the world wide generation which is used. Like now let's understand what is the inside architecture of Tosca tool which is provided. Okay, so there are certain sections provided here. So if you take a section modules, okay, modules are nothing but the objects which I had shown you now on the page, like today's deals and all, what we scan, okay, what we try to scan and get from that page which is unique is covered in modules. And that modules which are scanned, it takes you to test automation when you combine it with the test cases. Okay, so with this modules only you drag and drop to create a test case which is provided. So your test cases are created and you perform some actions with those modules in it. But sometimes what happens is that you need to make a decision table in the test case where you are trying to enter some values. Okay, you are trying to give some values and enter it into the system. So if at that time you use test case design which is there. So this is a section where you try to save your values. Okay, something like Excel sheet, but better than Excel sheet, because this provides a conditioning part of it which is not available through Excel. In Excel you can just format your uh, data values or your test data which is available. But test case design is more to it while using it in the decision tables. Okay, so it will use a decision to be made and the same will be applied to the test cases. Now these test cases are ready to be executed in your execution list, but you can map it with the requirements. Okay, something which will help you in an organized format to make your end-to-end flow to list out and to maintain it properly. So there are some requirements from BAs or from our stakeholders or from the product owner to be made, which we need to follow in our test cases that we need to test and automate the same. So with that, we just try to integrate the test cases with the requirements management. Sorry. Okay. So test cases are mapped with the requirements. And this requirements also you can take with the reporting part, which will show you, sorry, the requirement management will be taken with test status reporting. So reporting will contain you how much requirements have you covered in test cases. Also the execution list or the execution which was done and completed and how much is working and not working, that same part you can report it in the test status reporting with test execution. So up till now, are you clear with the flow for Tosca Tricentis which is available? Do ask some questions if you have regarding the flow or if you are not getting something right. Maybe I can pause for 2 minutes.
Hi,
Yeah.
Hi, Sneha.
Hi.
This is Lata here.
Yeah, Lata.
I'm into the manual testing and this
Yes.
Tosca, before going to Tosca, we are going to do this manual testing and proceed to this Tosca for automation.
Okay.
Is that right?
Okay. Yes. No,
I mean, the manual test is needed, and the extension of that one where we need to go for the regression and again and again testing for one particular thing, then we have to go for this Tosca.
yes, this is specially for automation part which you have to start. It is not necessary that you need to have manual test cases for this. Okay.
Okay.
In this tool itself, you can write manual test cases also and your automated test cases also, only to save your time in the regression cycles where you have 1000 test cases or 2000 test cases. That is advisable that you have it automated. Okay, that will save you a lot of time. So at that time we use this particular tool in more efficient manner. Otherwise, you can save your manual test cases also.
Thank you,
Like it-
Sneha.
You're welcome. Any more questions regarding this?
Hi, Sneha. This is Suganya here. Hello.
Yes, yes, Suganya.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So my question is like we have a cute HP ALM, right, where we will
Yes.
store all our requirements and test cases, and we will map them with the relevant test cases.
Right.
We will map the requirement with the test cases. So simply,
Yes.
similarly, this Tosca, will we be able to upload the requirements and test cases in sense? These are both, as you said, this will be both manual and automated test cases. So
Yes.
will we be able to upload the requirements and test cases and map them as we do in the ALM, or?
Yeah, in same manner you can do, and you can check for the coverage that has happened. Okay, how many how much percentage of requirement you have covered with the test cases in this tool. And like ALM, HP provides ALM, right? In that same format you have QTest, which is provided with Tricentis. Okay, that is QTest is the test management tool which will have entire from your release to your entire execution flow, which is with test cases. So there you can have a test plan, you can design your test cases. So that is available with QTest. Maybe I can just open that site and show you.
Okay.
I will be showing you Tosca also. Tosca tool. So you have ALM, right, for HP UFT, where you try to map your test cases to requirements. In same manner, in this QTest tool, right, you can map your test cases and requirements. Also, you can map it in the Tosca tool. So if you don't have this particular test management tool, it is not stopping you from using Tosca. Like for UFT reporting, you have to depend on HPLM, right? But for with Tosca, you don't have to depend on this QTest tool. It is just that a good test management tool is available where you can generate the entire portfolio reports. Now here I will just show you QTest.
Okay.
Yeah, here you can see. So from test plan, requirements, test design, and everything will be coming from Tosca itself. So if whatever test cases which you have for automation, right, they will be linked and monitored end to end. So this is done by QTest application.
So this is going to be an integration of QTest with the Tosca, right?
Yes, yes. Integration of QTest with Tosca is required. So here you can see release wise, you will get folders. In that release, you will get the epics and stories which are there. In those stories, you can link your test cases. So end to end, what exactly was done in that sprint wise. And this QTest is linked to Jira also. Okay, so what will happen is that whatever story you're working on, right, that will be linked here and it will be shown. You don't even have to upload those stories. or the work that you are working on, like that. So
Okay,
these
yeah, thank you.
are interconnected. Yeah, I hope that
Yeah.
answers your question.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. So let's move on to next part. So like modules which we said, right, they are like an object on the page which is created. So there is a standard subset. A standard subset is nothing but the common modules which are provided. Like if I say, if I want to open the browser, I just have to scan that particular driver, and I have to scan and maximize that driver, right? I have to click on maximize button, and I have to expand that particular window. So those all are standard format which is used worldwide. So they have provided a standard subset from Tricentis itself in Tosca, which will be helping us in developing our scripts. Okay, so you don't have to open URL because it is a common thing which is provided through standard subset. Opening a folder, or making some changes to the file, Excel sheet which is there. So those all engines are provided in the standard subset itself. Then you move on to modules which are created by scanning. Okay, these modules are nothing but hello, am I audible?
Yes, Neha, you are.
Yes, okay.
Yes, Neha,
Thank you.
you are audible.
Yeah, thank you. So modules which we scan, or the objects which are required according to your application, okay, which are not common. It depends on the application that you are using. For mobile testing, you will be having some different objects which are used, or especially for the native applications that are there, or PWA applications which are working both in UI or in your mobile devices. So those all have objects pertaining to their application only, okay, which is your requirement. So those all can be also scanned through modules. Then there are modules which are created by automation assistant recording. Okay, so what happens is that if you would have seen UFT tool, or Selenium tool, these all they provide automatic recording assistant with them. Okay, so what will happen is that you just have to start the player, and you just perform some actions, and those actions and the objects will be recorded by that player. So this is also available by Tricentis Tosca, okay, wherein you can just save those particular modules correctly. And if at times you are not able to understand that what exactly unique property I need to use to identify that, so those all properties also you can get by recording those things. Okay, then the last option is you try to create it manually. If we by recording also it is showing some jumbled up approach, or if it is not uniquely identifying the second time when you're running the scripts and all, so at that time you go on for creating it manually. So creating manually, what will happen is that you are creating it in a customized format. Okay, so whatever is required according to your application, you are customizing that thing. So you are creating it manually, that particular module to work in your scripts. Then there are kind of classic modules and X modules. Okay, so previously when this particular Tosca was built, they had some classic modules, in the sense that which are working in VB script. Okay, the base for this was in VB script. For X modules, the base was in the C sharp which is used. So classic modules use classic engines for test automation, and X modules are the latest engines 3.0 for test automation which are used. So if you want to create a robust script in the sense, what I mean is that you don't have to maintain your automation scripts going forward with the changes that will be in the requirements. If suppose like some of the stakeholders would say that I don't require this particular slideshow or review to be there as the tab or to be visible here. I need it to be a small button which is easily accessible. So these kinds of change requests which are generated are easily done with the help of X modules. Okay, so you don't have to input some of the weights in classic modules. In classic modules with VB script, what used to happen is that you will get a execution screen which is there, okay, which will tell you that okay, it has found the object and it has now executed whatever actions that you have done. With X modules, it will not give you a screen like that in between when you are debugging, especially. Okay, in continuous flow, both of these modules will work, but it is always advisable to go with the X modules or the engines 3.0 which is provided for test automation. And you can use X modules in the same way as classic modules. Okay, and they have mostly the same properties, but you should remember that X modules are more faster and they are easy to use. Okay, this was built as a solution for the classic modules which we have. So there is always an improvisation in each application. In your there will be some improvisation in your application. There are some improvisation in the tools also in same manner. So in automation tool also you can see couple of improvisations which are done. So that is the same improvisation which you are seeing in classic modules and X modules. Okay, so whenever you automate things or you start your journey for your automation, you have to remember that you have to improvise yourself in different zones. You don't have to do the failed thing again and again. Okay, you have to try better ways to do the same thing which you are not finding. So you have to find some ways in which you can automate or work around which will be available. You have to generate that end-to-end flow while automating. So now let's start the demo part of the tool. Okay, I will show you. So I have a Tosca Commander application which is there, and this is a licensed application. Okay, like Selenium, which is a free open source tool. Tosca is a licensed tool. Like UFT is also a licensed tool. Okay, Macro is not a licensed tool. Then Selenium is also a free open source tool. Okay, which open sources, some tools are the ones which do not require licenses with it. Then you have RPA tools also available, like UiPath, Automation Anywhere, or you have Pega Studio, which is useful for RPA. So these are tools. When you come across these tools, are some tools which you use for automating your processes. Okay, the processes in which I mean is you have some loan account generation, or you have some checks to be checked in the Excel sheet. You have lots of records, and you from those 1 lakh records, you want to find out who are the faulters or defaulters and all those. So this small process which is there can be done with robotic process automation. Okay, and this Tosca Commander or the UFT or Selenium or your VB script, these are the automation tools which are working on these particular applications. Okay, so application testing which is required majorly will be done by these automation tools, and RPA is something which will be automating your processes. Okay, different processes which are available. So one major difference you should understand while taking into account that what kind of scenarios you need to automate and ease your testing levels. So here you can see a sign of Tricentis which is shown with the Tosca Commander app. So these are the three things which get generated with Tosca, which you should remember is some license configuration. Since this is the license tool, you will get a license generated with it. Okay, so license configuration, you will get Tosca Wizard, where you will be running your scripts. Like I had shown you, there are classic modules and there is X modules. Okay, so classic modules, or the modules which are not identified by you with the VB script which is identified, those all things will be done with Tosca Wizard. Okay, Tosca enabler is nothing but which will help you in executing your scripts in a unattended or attended mode which is available. So these three things will be generated with the Tosca Commander application which you will be installing. So usually you get a 14-day trial version for Tosca in your system. After that, you have to have a license provided for this particular tool. So if you want to learn, you can keep yourself some 15 days or 14 days time to learn this tool. And there are several sites available for learning this particular tool. And also you have some small YouTube videos also which are available, which are nothing but 3 to 4 minutes, 5 minutes videos, small videos which are there, which you can just go through if you are learning more into Tosca. So 5 minutes, 3 minutes time will not affect you much, and you can give more to learning this particular tool. So the support part of this tool is very strong, wherein you have some knowledge base articles are there, or if you are keen on blogging for the automation part, so those all things are also available with Tosca Commander tool. Okay, so I will just open this application. Before that, I will also show you the license part of it. So here you can see the Tosca tool from inside screenshot which is taken. Okay, so you have application scanning, API scanning, which is done mobile, PDF you can scan. Okay, some host machine, if you want to scan that host machine also you can scan. Then there are more scannings that are provided. So you can see here 14.3 version I have in my system, and this is provided by Tricentis, trademark by Tricentis, and it is starting the Tosca Commander. First, it will check for the license. Since I have also not purchased the license, this tool is in my system for 14 days only, where I will able to learn and grasp the skills which are more efficient and which will make me understand Tosca easily and make me more job ready. So meanwhile, this is starting. You can see there is license available. Okay, so if I click on connect, so these are the three licenses which are provided by Tosca. Okay, one is connect to the cloud host license server, which I have used for this. Then another is connect to self-hosted license server, and last is the use licenses from my local machine. Okay, so three kinds of licenses are available. So this is more machine-based, which is given. Then this is more enterprise-based, which will be used. Okay, they will be hosting this particular server, and from that server you will be using it. Then there is another method in which they have given provided licenses, the cloud hosted license server. So if it is a licensed version, you will be able to see it in a connection. Okay, and if you want to manage your licenses, you can manage the licenses in the format that you want. So these are the three license formats which are provided by Tosca. Like if you go with UFT, you will be having concurrent license and the current license which is provided. Okay, so concurrent license is nothing but in a format that if someone is using right now, the other person cannot use the same tool again. So that is called as concurrent license, which is provided by automation tool. So it again depends on the company which is providing that particular automation tool, what kind of license will be provided to the user. Okay, just close this license server, and you can see this Tosca Commander is open for me. Okay, Tosca Commander is a place where I will be having my scripts and modules and execution and my requirements inside this. Like you had asked the question for requirements, right? So requirements, when you are using it in Tosca, then you have to import those requirements in it. Okay, if you are using it from the QTest test management tool, so there is no need of importing the requirements, because they are coming directly from Jira. But here you have to import the requirements from the requirements tab. So you have a guided tour which is provided also, which will help you and they will make you understand that how Tosca is operating, and their specific support site is also available. Okay, so you can see here online tutorials are available. You can watch videos in your free time. You online help if you need, you can get from here, or knowledge base articles are there, and you can contact the support part of it. Okay, so what are the new releases, you can see it here. Then get software training if you want, you can get it from here. So there is one site of I will just ping every one of you the site. Where you can get various certifications, and that too in a free cost. Okay, so you can certify yourself with Tosca, and you can gain knowledge in Tosca, as well as you can make yourself a job ready with this particular tool. So you can also you can see, you can also connect with the people who are already using Tosca from LinkedIn. You can create your own tribes, your own community, and try to research more into this tool and make yourself very much ready into the automation zone. When you want to move from a stage where you are doing a lot of work of manual, you have to move to automation. This is the right tool which you can say, which will gain you more confidence into this. Okay, and your day-to-day activities that you need to follow as a tester. Okay, the site is teachable something. Okay, so this is the school or academy that you will be able to certify yourself easily. Okay, so there are a lot of certificates which are provided on learning and giving, and you will be having an exam at last where you can certify yourself with Tricentis Tosca. You just have to register for this, and then you will be able to see a lot of courses, and you can see here Tricentis Heartbeat is also available. You have a channel of Tricentis Tosca with Tricentis Academy in YouTube, which you can go through right from the basic to the advanced level topics are covered in this particular site for you to learn automation. Okay, and this is some tool where you are trying to move from manual to automation. This will be the exact tool which you should look out for, where you can develop your skills. And this is very much a lot of into the market, covering your agile, your DevOps, and your DevSecOps culture, which is provided today in the market. So let's move to. So you can see 3 instances of Tosca Commander I've opened. I will close the 2 instances of it, and I will just keep one of them. Okay, now like in the diagram which I had shown you, right, there is a repository and there is a commander and there is a wizard. Okay, so wizard I had shown you from here. Which was there, you have a Tosca executor which is there, okay, and enabler which is there, and the license configuration which is available. Sorry. Now here there are some sorry, projects which are inbuilt given by Tosca for you to learn. Okay, so when you download or install this 14 days trial version, you will get these 2 projects, which is first steps and advanced examples. Or you can create your own workspace from here with create new. So I will just open and show you whatever we have discussed in the repository. So these are all the repositories, okay, that you see. The projects are saved in repositories which are there. So I will just open first steps. So are you clear up till now for Tosca tool, the automation part? Any questions you have regarding this?
Yeah, I have a question, Suganya here again.
Yes, Suganya.
So as you said, it contains C# coding, right? If so, this is completely a coding part as part of
No, no.
automation, or okay?
No,
So
this is a codeless automation tool. Codeless
so a
automation tool
person who
you
doesn't
won't
know
require.
any coding standard or coding experience can also use this tool, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Anyone who does not have any coding knowledge can also use this tool.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank
Only
you.
to build up some custom modules which you have, or custom controls which are required. Okay, in advanced level, you will be requiring C#, but that is very few. That will be like in a year twice, or in a year you won't even require that thing. If everything is identified properly with Tosca, you will not require it.
Yeah, sure.
So
Thank
more
you.
on codeless part.
Yeah, thanks.
Any more questions? Okay, while this repository is opening, ready, and you should remember that this particular automation tools, they come up with some part of huge usages. Okay, like if I have this on my system, I should make sure that my RAM is around 8 GB or 4 GB. to be used, because these kinds of tools which are there, which are more on a graphic part or UFT, will also require those kind of GB to be there in the system to be handled properly. Okay, and that all things are given from the support.tricenters.com, this particular site. Okay, so you can see here the repository has opened. I will just minimize and show. Okay, and it has opened with .tws file. This .tws file is nothing but Tosca Workspace. Okay, Workspace is nothing but your small repository where you will have everything, like from your test cases, your modules, your test data, your executions, your requirements, everything will be in this particular repository. So here you can see this tool which has got generated, and you can see several tabs or navigation part available on the screen. Similarly, you have some short navigations which are required while developing your test cases. Okay, so you can see here some sections like test cases are there where you write your test cases. So you can see your manual tests are also there. Okay, so you can write your manual test cases, you can write your automated test cases, or you can save your test data. Okay, so you can see here the test data is saved in an Excel sheet format. Okay, so all your data will be visible in the Excel sheet.
Yes, Sneha, Hari here, Sneha. Sorry to interrupt
Yeah,
you.
Hari. Yeah, Hari.
I just have one announcement I just wanted to make actually.
Yes.
So as per plan, actually, like we were conducting the sessions on every Friday and Saturday. It seems like by mistake, 18th also session ID was created. So we are just working on getting the session ID created for tomorrow. But it will be a new link. So I will be sharing it in the RISE participants group once it is ready. It might be ready by tomorrow morning itself. So I just wanted to make that announcement. Please make a note of participants for tomorrow. We are working on the session ID creation, and once it is available by tomorrow morning, I am going to ping. If I don't ping you, then I will update like the session is there or not. But from next week onwards, it will be like on every Friday and Saturday. Thank you.
Okay, and the timings will be same, right, Hari?
Correct. Yeah, the timings are the same, Sneha.
Okay. Okay, so here you can see test case design. Okay, where all your values you can store, or test data values. Execution will be there. Okay, execution list, like you create your test suite, you create your test cases to be executed, and exploratory testing and interactive testing also you can perform on this. Okay, interactive testing is specially for you take certain screenshots, right? And then when you are testing, and those screenshots when you take, you try to map and say that, hey, I clicked on this particular zone and this is what the error is. So that kind of interactive testing also you can do with Tosca. Then issues. Now whatever issues or bugs that you raise, you can integrate directly it with the Jira. Okay, so whatever test case, if you are automating and it fails somewhere, then that particular failed test case, you can report it in Jira also through issues and defects. Then you can see one more section where they have listed out some tutorials for the test cases. Okay. So this is all in all how Tosca tool looks like. Okay, you can see this tool which is shown is what our Tosca contains. Now, Now this tool comes up with three parts which are in every section that you take. Okay, so one is the navigation part which you have. Another is the details tab, which will give you the test steps which are there. And next is the properties. Okay, what properties are associated with that particular test steps or test cases, whatever properties are associated. So one is the navigation, one is the details, and another is the properties, which is shown in Tosca. So any questions you have, you can interrupt me in between also if you have any questions.
Sneha, Sneha.
Yeah.
So I just have this question, like, is this Tosca a free download which can be installed on any Windows laptop?
Yes, it can be installed on any Windows application.
No.
Operating system. On Mac OS also you can download and
Okay.
install.
Maybe like
So installation.
for the
For the
participants to get
participants,
on the
I can
hands-on.
just show.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. Like we request everyone to get it installed, and maybe like if we have the session tomorrow, we can just quickly run through some kinds of hands-on, right, Sneha?
Yes, sure.
Ah.
I can just show you how you can build up the test cases with this Tosca and how you can automate a simple scenarios with using Tosca. And we can go through the entire tool and understand it better. So every tool, like every automation tool, has these inbuilt in them. Okay, so there are tools where you are able to see the properties, but you are able to see the properties only when you are scanning that particular thing. So if this is the site support.tricentis.com. So I will just ping in the chat. Okay. Hari, how was the PPT sharing? I think so. Part of it. Okay. So make sure that you register yourself on this support.tricentis.com community. Okay. Then only you will be able to access lot of resources which are for Tosca and Tricentis. Also the site which I told you of Tricentis school, you can get yourself certified in this particular tool and you can move forward with a good career in this automation part. Okay, so see here you can have announcements and you can see here QTest is some performance issues or some maintenances which are there in Tricentis Tosca. Those entire things you can see it here. From documentation, from some knowledge base articles, or if you are stuck somewhere, if you are not finding anything like how to close all the browsers and windows on a particular browser type, so those kinds of questions and answers you will be able to find here. Also you will be able to go to the videos part of the Tricentis Tosca, which is provided here. Okay. So once you log into the site, you will be able to see all the scenarios. So you just have to register it and then you can log in and use it. So register yourself into this site.
చెట్టు
Okay, so here you can see more tabs are generated for you to learn. So like I said, for installing Tosca, there is some prerequisite requirements which are required, and your system should have minimum 8 GB RAM, which is required, okay, or minimum 4 GB RAM, because this particular setup itself is around 4 GB. So the latest version that you can see is 14.3 available here. So they have given the entire guide in which you can install Tosca Tricentis and you can use it in your machine, okay? And if extra unattended mode and installations are required, extra installations if you require it, those all installations also you can install and check. But before that, just install this Tosca Tricentis Tosca exe. Okay. Well, let me, once you install, you will be able to see this in C drive. And there will be automatically, it will create a C drive Tosca projects. Okay, so all your contents of the Tricentis Tosca will be listed out in Tosca projects itself. So you can see here, this automatically gets created. Okay, so whenever you install Tosca, you will get this Tosca projects created where you have Tosca commander things in it. You have workspaces or repositories or the common repositories which you have. So common repositories, especially when you are working in teams and you have some repositories that are constructed, so those all things will be coming in the common repositories. And workspaces, you will be having all your workspaces like first steps and advanced examples. Like I said, these are automatically provided by Tricentis Tosca when you install this particular tool in your machine. Okay, and Tosca commander. So Tosca Commander will be having the standard subset which we had discussed, right? Standard subset is nothing but the common modules which are used across, like opening the URL, opening this particular folder, or whatever is common worldwide is included in the standard subset which is there. Your Excel engines, your Outlook engines, entirely is in the standard subset. Now they have created more kind of standard subsets also, which is your data integrity, especially for the business intelligence, or especially for vital checks which are done, or for the ETL testing. These all are the samples that they have created where you can use those samples in your day-to-day testing which is required. Okay, then OSV samples are there. OSV is nothing but what happens is what you can say is OSV stands for Orchestral Service services which are provided. So wherein what happens is, if your application is not ready, okay, and if the developer is saying that I have only the services which are provided for this particular application, and on those basis of services only, you just have to test that this is how the button works, this is how the click works, this is how the text boxes are working, this is how the radio button or your check boxes are working. So those services are provided. So those services can be used in an orchestrated format to use this particular sample. Okay, so this kind of testing is also provided. Even if your application is not ready in a format of user interface, then also you can use this OSV samples and you can perform testing. Then there is behavior driven development, like with Selenium you get Cucumber, with Python, for Python you get a Beehive. So like that you have a behavior driven development which is also available with Tosca. Okay, if you are using a Gherkin language for automating, especially Gherkin language is nothing but which will give you given, when, and then. Okay, so these are the given things to me. Then when
Yes,
I
Sneha.
click
Hari, yes,
on this,
Sneha.
yeah, Hari.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, Sneha. So I just want to confirm with the participants. So does everyone got their personal laptop ready, and then they are ready to practice the Tosca? Can someone speak out if there are any challenges? Are they good with respect to the installation with whatever the instructions that has been shared by Sneha? Please
Hi,
feel free
Hari.
to like provide your
Yeah,
feedback.
Suganya
Yeah.
here.
Mhm.
Suganya here. So we are a native, and I do attend this session through mobile only. I don't have a laptop here, but next week we will be back to Bangalore, and I will have one. I mean, I will have access to laptop. So next week I will be able to install and look for issues and then get back.
That's fair enough, Suganya. But we request other participants like to get the environment set up, and maybe like quickly tomorrow morning, first 10-15 minutes, we can just take the trainer's help and get the environment up and ready for the other participants. Because like hands-on is something which is very much critical for these sessions to help them out. And we request all the participants to be vocal and share your feedback, anything that you are like going through, and at the same time like your availability, readiness, and everything. Because like our understanding is like you are ready with your personal laptop and you can go ahead and install the requisite software for your hands-on. Thank you. Yes, Neha, we are good to go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Hari. So here in Tosca Commander, you will have keywords, object maps. Object maps are nothing but the objects that you will be scanning, okay? And you can save this in objects map. It's a kind of a folder that they have given, that if you want to share some of your modules, you can share with them. Then this is specially the standard TSU for SAP modules which are there. Okay, SAP related modules, especially for Salesforce and all. And then you have the templates which are required for entering the imports which is required in Tosca. How do you import comparatively some files in Tosca? Okay. That is the entire thing of Tricentis Tosca tool of automation which is provided. So Hari, yeah, is it fine to end the session for today? How it is? Anyone has any questions related to this tool? Hello.
Don't have any question.
Sneha again, Suganya here. So I have a question regarding uploading of the test cases. So say for example, I'm the person who writes test cases in Excel, say for example. So will I be able to upload it from Excel, or do I need to directly write the test cases in Tosca
Yeah.
itself?
No, that's what you have to upload in this format, which I had shown you, right? There were templates which was available.
Yeah, inside. So everything is in the form of Excel sheet.
Yes, in that format, template, if you import, then you will be able to import the test cases.
Okay, so will it take the same time as I write in the Excel sheet normally, or
No, it is
or
more
will it have?
faster.
Okay.
Yeah, it is more faster.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, Lata. Do you have any question?
No, so far I'm good.
Then, Hari, for maybe for today, I've been completed with a tool part of automation. Tomorrow, if we have a call, right, you can continue with the various ribbons and your tabs, your trees, your notations, which are there in Tosca, the properties, and how you can construct the test cases, and start with automation, and how easy it is, and how you require a codeless automation to be there. Over to you, Hari. I will just stop here for today's session, and tomorrow, if the call is there, we'll continue with this.
Thank you, Sneha, for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sneha.
Thank you.
It was really a good
Thank you.
session. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Sneha.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. నేను మీటింగ్ ఇవ్వట్లేదా అయ్యా ఒక్కొక్కసారి అయిపోయింది ఓ టు హరి అంటే సపోర్ట్ చేయలేదు గాను